Hello everyone, welcome back to the melody writing music theory lessons for melody writing. Today we are going to talk about how to continue this melody when the chord is given. For example, during exam in grade 8 music theory or diploma AmusTCL music theory exam, sometimes the bass note is given. For example, this is the A sharp and you have a G, and this one is A sharp, this is the E. From the letter name here, you can see that the chord is very likely to be A sharp, E, and G. And the missing note is C. So it looks like this is the A sharp, C sharp, E, and G, the chord. This is the chord. And apparently this is very much like a diminished 7 chord because A sharp, C sharp, E, and G, if you look at the interval, all of them are minor third apart. Okay, so when all the notes form minor third, this is very likely to be a diminished 7 chord. So let's look at the melodic. Let's talk about the melodic shape first. I can show you some melody writing that have a good shape. For example, this one has a upwards, this ascending melodic shape. And then the notes between are in stepwise movement. So this is a very good example of melody writing that can help you to score well. In my past experience, usually this kind of melodic shape can score full marks because there is no awkward leaps. If the melody are step by step and stepwise movement, you will avoid any kind of awkward leaps and strange intervals. So I always encourage my students try to have some melodic direction is either going upwards or going downwards. Okay, like this. This one is going downwards. Okay, and then the shape has been wavy. A, G, A, B, C, like this. There's some wavy shape. Okay, so how to create a wavy shape like this? Like this one also, it has a very nice wavy shape when it's a descending, in a descending motion. This one is ascending. So let's look at some basic knowledge first. First of all, the chords can be C, E, G. We can use C, E, G as example. So first, you need to decide which note to start with. The starting note must choose from the chords. Let's say this is C, E, and G. You can choose to start with C. You can start with E, or you can start with G. Let's say you want to have an ascending melodic direction. You can start with E. So after you start with E, you can decide whether you want to skip to another chord note or you want to repeat the E. So this is the example where you can repeat you start with a repeated note first. After repeat, then you can skip. After skip, and you repeat. And construct your melody to be like this. Alternatively, do skip, repeat alternatively. So if you want to extend your melody, let's say the bar is very long, you can extend further. So you have G, E, E, and after that you can skip. And then repeat. Okay? So by doing this, the examiner can see that you are using C, E, G chord. Okay, it outlines the harmony. So the melody must be able to match with the harmony because we are going to write harmony in the left hand later on. Let's say this is a bass, left hand has a bass clef here. So if you make use of this chord C, E, G, then your melody should be able to match well with the left hand's accompaniment. Okay, so let's not talk about the accompaniment first. We are focusing on melodic shape today. So between E and E, when you repeat the note, you can add auxiliary note D. Okay, because the melodic direction is going up, so I suggest your auxiliary note should go down first so that you create this kind of curve shape in your melody. So, if you use upper auxiliary note E, F, E, then your melodic shape will look like this. Okay, so which is not so nice. So we want it to be curve, to curve, the melodic shape to curve this way. Okay, so between E and G, there is a gap. Okay, so whenever there's a gap, you need to add passing note. So when you repeat, you add auxiliary note. When you skip, you can add passing note to close the gap. So between G and C, you can close the gap like this. So at the end, we don't want the melodic shape to look like this zigzag shape, which is not good. So we want this between C and C, auxiliary note, you can add D. So your melodic shape look like this. It end with this wavy curve shape. Okay, so this is important information for auxiliary note. Yeah, this is something that you may not be able to see in a music theory textbook. So if you are interested, you can write down in your notebook. This is an important rules for auxiliary note. After you have finished constructing your melody, okay, you can see by using this method, the melodic has a nice shape when it's going upwards. So first you focus on the melodic shape first. After melodic shape, you can add in the rhythm. Let's say this is a 4/4. Okay, you can have 3 notes in a group. Let's say you group the first 3 notes in the group. Okay, let me erase this one first. Four of them has to be a semiquavers. In next group, if you want to have 4 in a group, it can be like this. 4 semiquavers. Okay, and don't worry about passing note to be at the main beat. It can be accented passing note like this. Then after that, you can have another 4. And then you end your melody with a long note. Usually the ending, you can have a long note. What if I want to create a downwards descending melodic shape? Okay, let's take a D, F, A as example. If the given harmony is a D, F, A, you can start with higher note because we are doing descending direction. So you can start with higher D. Okay, just now you will repeat the E. Okay, some students may ask, can I start the melody without repeating the notes? Of course you can. So this is a D. Okay, so you don't want to repeat the D like what you did just now, you can skip to A first. So after skip, I choose D, skip to A. So after that, after skip, I repeat. You repeat the A. So after repeat, then you can skip. Skip to F. After skip, then you can repeat and so on. Basically, the concept is the same. Okay, so when you skip from D to A, you can add passing note to close the gap. Okay, so these are called passing note. Between 2 notes, they skip to each other. When the 2 notes are repeating, you can add auxiliary note. So you can add either upper auxiliary note or lower auxiliary note. But because this is going downwards, so your auxiliary note should go up first and then down so that you have a nice shape. And this is an important rule when you use auxiliary note in your melody writing. So in this melody writing, we need to use 2 types of decorations. It's either passing note Passing note can be accented or unaccented. It doesn't matter. And the second type of melodic decoration is auxiliary note. Okay, so these are the decoration that can help you to score well. So for auxiliary note, you need to look at the direction of the melody. You can either be upper auxiliary or lower auxiliary. So between A and F, you can add G. And then the last two F and between F and F, you can, if you add G, then your melodic shape look like this, which is not so nice. Okay, so instead of this shape, okay, your auxiliary note should go down. Use lower auxiliary so that the shape look like this. Okay, after you are happy, after you finish writing the melody, you can check whether you are happy with the melodic shape. So in this case, the melodic shape look like this, which is quite nice. Okay, downwards and wavy, with a downwards direction and wavy shape. So after you are happy, once you are happy with the melodic shape, you can add in the rhythm. Let's say this is a, okay, let's talk about compound time. What if this is a compound time? Compound time, we need to have three in a group, right? Three quavers in the group. So if you want to have four notes, then two of them must be semi-quiver. Okay, because compound time must have three in a group. So like this, three in a group. Okay, so this is one bar. A second bar, if you want, you can that because the last note needs to be a long note. So here need to be crotchet and quiver. Okay, so this form three quavers and this form three quavers. So total you have six quavers here. Okay, so this is how you do it. And in some of the grade 8 melody writing, you can see our students, we use a technique of sequence. What does the sequence mean? Sequence is the technique that we use in our melody to build up a climax. For example, this one, F, E, F, G, A, G, A, B, C. Okay, so da 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 da. So after that, this one is start with F. Then the next one will start with G. The first sequence will build higher, slightly higher to build up a climax. So da 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 da, same as this. Okay, same as the first one. Same melodic shape as, and rhythm pattern as first one. And the third one, so first one start with G, second one start with F, first one start with F, second one start with G. Then the third one can start with, oh, sorry, this is not F. This is a A. This is start with A, this one start with B, and then this one start with C. So da 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 da. So it looks like this is a chord 1, chord 2, chord 3. Okay, after that, when you reach the climax, you can end with a chord 4 to 5, which means you have a tonic to leading note. So after two sequences, you have a climax here, which is the loudest part. So sequence, first you start with soft, moderately loud, and then you reach your climax. You reach your climax here. Okay, so this is how you build up the climax using the method that I show you. So this is one of the possibility. In some of the music, composer also like to use sequence. So these are the sequences. Like let's say the music is C, E, and G. Okay, C, E, G. Then the next one will be D, F, A. Build up. So this is a sequence of the previous bar. Okay, so C, E, G, C, E, G, D, F, A, and then E, G, B. Even higher. Okay, so this one is sequence of this. It looks like a C wave going higher and higher. And this will lead to a climax later on in the next bar. Okay, so you will find this very frequently in classical composers' piano work or any other instrument. Now, let's look at how to apply this method for our composition. In exam, whether it's grade 8 music theory exam or AmusTCL Diploma music theory exam, sometimes they'll give you the left hand, the chord is A, C, E, G. So you can use the same method. So after a skip, you see, after E, this is E, this is A. After skip, you are encouraged to write the melody that is in stepwise movement and has some musical direction so that you can score higher. So if the chord is an A, C, E, G, this is a D major, and this one A, C, E, G, because all are minor third, so you can name this as diminished 7 chord. It's a fully diminished 7. So over here, if this is A, you can decide you want to skip or repeat. So if you want to repeat, you can repeat the A. So after repeat, you can skip. After skip, you can repeat. So we can extend A. Sorry, let me erase this unnecessary thing. So you can choose A, C, C. Okay, so it looks like you have more space here. So you can extend further. After C, you can skip to E. Okay, all the notes that you choose must come from a chord. After E, you can repeat the E and then G. Now, it looks like you need to have how many counts per bar? This is 4 time, four crotchets per bar. So between A and A, because it's going up, you can add a auxiliary note. Okay, so between A and A, you can add auxiliary note. Between A and C, you can add a passing note. So passing the auxiliary note, I use green color. So between C and C, you can add lower auxiliary because it's going up like this. Okay. For auxiliary note, you always must do it like this. Okay, to create a curved shape. So between C and E, you can add passing note to close the gap between C and E. So when you repeat E and E, you can add lower auxiliary note because it's going up later on. So between E and G, you can add passing note to close the gap. Okay, now let's group the notes into four crotchets. So here, you can have 4 crotchets. Then here, you can have 4 crotchets. So the last group, if you don't want to have 4 crotchets, is completely fine. Because this one is towards the end of the music. Now, this is a G, A, C, E, G. Then the next one, it can be A. Okay, so there are 2 parts in left hand. 2 parts writing in left hand. So left hand, the upper part is 2 counts, already have 2 counts. So you just need to put another 2 counts, another minimum beat. And then the lower melodic line, you can add C. I'm sorry, there are some noise in the background, which is a construction work from my neighbor. Then there's a E. Hey. So by doing this, you will get very nice, after skip, you have very wavy melodic shape going upwards. Okay, so this is a good method. Of course, there are many other possibilities. If you are interested, you can sign up, have a trial lesson with me. I'm going to share more with you. So that's all for today. Thank you for attending the lesson. Goodbye. I see you next time.